Hi, my name is Terry Rose. Today I want to talk to you a little bit more about some things that can really help you with your goal setting and changing the things about your life that you want to change. Now, I've talked a lot about my near-death experience and my study of quantum physics and just a lot of things that brought me to the point of being proactive with my thoughts, creating a vision for my life and attaching feelings to it and expectancy and looking forward instead of backwards, and always trying to have some kind of a feeling that would fall into like the love category. If you say love one category, fear is the other category. So I try to think of the way I would like things to be. I try to create a vision for it in my mind, and this is the process of using creative visualization and visualization techniques. You can do that from finding different images and that remind you of what it is that you're working towards, or you can just close your eyes and create an image. But what is really important is to expect that it happens. And the feelings that you put with your image and your vision as you're thinking about it are what are so important. And in my near-death experience, the one thing that I brought away with me is that the feelings that we have create energy, and they go out and they affect a lot of everything. They affect everything really in the universe. But what's really interesting is this study I want to tell you about on expectancy. There was a Dr. Robert Rosenthal, and he worked with some different colleagues and did a lot of different studies and research. His interest started when he realized that during his doctoral dissertation, the research, he actually biased. He recognized that he biased the research towards the outcome that he expected. So rather than being upset about that, that really fascinated him, and it started him to study expectation. So between himself and then colleagues and different people that he worked with, they did different projects, and they did things like they would have some researchers and experimenters, and they would just tell them things that weren't true at all. They would have a group of rats that were all bred in the same way. They were just randomly divided out, but they were told these rats were bred for high performance. These were not. So the people doing the experiments, they had a higher expectation, and what ended up happening in every case, that when they expected the rats to perform better, they did perform better, and when they didn't, they didn't. They also did that with teachers in school. I want to get this right. There was a famous study that summarized that it was a Rosenthal and Jacobson study, and it's summarized in the book that's called Pygmalion in the Classroom, Teacher Expectation and Pupils' Intellectual Development, 1968. It was named the Pygmalion Effect after a myth, some mythology, and what they did was they took teachers randomly. I want to get this right now. They told teachers, they basically gave them false information again, just like with the experiments with the rats. They picked certain teachers that were picked for certain reasons. They told them certain children were picked because of IQ and that sort of thing. Well, what they ended up finding out was that the end results were always that the expectations of the teachers ended up, even though the children were just random, or they knew that they didn't have higher IQ, when the teachers were told that they had higher IQ, it ended up the students excelled. You know, the expectations ended up having a powerful impact, and I've read a lot of different studies like that. So my point with all this is, when you are visualizing your life and the goals that you're working towards, no matter what it is, you have to be able to see it in your mind's eye, or you just have to have that intention, that very clear intention of what you are working towards, and then you have to feel the feelings. You have to expect it. And this really carries over to anything that you're doing. When you expect success, things just happen, and there is an energy. I mean, it really boils down to this quantum field. There is a field of energy that is around us that transmits information. So one way or the other, You can just imagine that your thoughts and your expectation go out there. Think of it any way you want to. They draw situations back to you. They make you more aware of situations that are there. They activate situations, but one way or the other, what you expect, you will end up getting in an awful lot of situations. You'll find that that's true. So more than anything, be sure that you really tune in to what you're feeling and what you're expecting. And you'll find that when you put the correct expectation, the more positive expectation there, the great majority of the time it will work out that way. And you really do have an awful lot of control over things that you may not even be aware of. But it's time to become aware and create that life that you want to have and not the one that you're thinking about all the time that you don't want to have.